Maybe I'm doing it by myself.
I don't think we should talk about this. Come on, why not? People might
You're with
misunderstand what we trying
Ed
to say
Shutran.
now.
Who goes? Ready?
Tonight on Let's Talk About, we're talking
Wait
about
for it. Let's talk about Shutran, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about Shutran. Let's talk about Shutran. Let's talk about Shutran. Let's talk about Shutran.
Who knows what Shutran is? If you don't,
Put up your hand if you don't know what Shutran is. Oh, no, I'm not in class today.
we kind of match. We've both got purple on.
Yeah,
Although I've had this on all day. Have you had that on all day?
Yeah,
Okay.
under my real clothes. It's like Superman. I have the cape on and everything under my real clothes.
Yeah.
For those of you who have no idea why I'm sitting here wearing a purple suit and sunglasses, what was the story? Back at the last symposium in February this year, we did a little act called Ed Shutran and the Envisioned Vamps. And Kim was one of the Envisioned Vamps, dressed in a skin-tight, shimmering silver outfit.
Anyway, we are talking Shutran tonight.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take my dark glasses off because I can't see a darn thing. Alrighty.
So Shutran, what is Shutran, Jeremy?
I don't know. I've just lost my notes here. Where did I put them?
Are these your notes?
Nope,
No,
I'll be back.
I'll talk about Shutran because at least I'm organised.
Oh, how embarrassing!
I'm actually taking a back seat tonight. I don't have to do very much.
I'll see you in the back seat later. No, we do want to talk
At least
about,
if you wear Shutran, you might.
Well, exactly. We might. We'll see how.
Tonight's
we
one should probably be PG rated.
No, don't even say that. No, tonight's going to be fully okay for everyone. The reason why we're talking about Shutran, well, actually, I wanted to talk about Shutran. Can I tell a quick story before we kind of really get going? It is relevant. So, when I was first married, way back in, I don't know, it's like the 15th or 16th century, the family that I married into, they had very limited opportunities for men to have roles in that family. And for example, you could either be the drink too much, not say anything at all, communicate in grunts man, or you could be the bumbling comedic fool who made everyone laugh.
Is that what one you were?
Well, they were the only two options, and at first I thought I'll settle for the funny guy.
Not much has changed because isn't that what role you play in our business?
Well, yes and no. But I guess my point about it was, like, I was really uncomfortable that there was such a limited way that you could kind of be a man in that family. And I actually rejected both those roles because neither of them I thought were what a real man should be. And I guess when I look at stereotypes of men at the moment, in particular in the media, maybe there's three roles. So there's the bumbling, foolish dad role. There's the macho, don't say anything at all, violent sort of guy, and then there's the slightly effeminate, sensitive new age guy. And the problem is, I don't think any of those three are really what women want, or B, what men want to be. So it's a bit of a crisis, I think, in masculinity at the moment. I want to argue that there's a whole other role where you can combine the best of those three things, and be a real man. So, and is that something that would attract you? Well, that's what I'm trying to do, I guess. So I don't know if other men resonate with that, or if women kind of see that. But that brings me to Shutran. And
sorry, we just got a message saying that Nicole just got a kit sale. Sorry, one more family for our 100 club. Sorry.
But that brings me to Shutran and to Gary Young, who, if you know anything at all about Gary Young, and if you don't, you should find out, was a real man's man, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was definitely a man's man. Like, he did rodeo, he did jousting, he rode horses, drove trucks, you know, all that kind of stuff.
But was he a non-speaking, non-verbal, communicate with grunts kind of guy?
I think he probably was in the beginning, but through personal development and running a
Yeah.
business, he had to learn to not be that.
Yeah, and his wife Mary Young spends a lot of time saying how much she loved Gary. And what were some of the things that she loved about Gary, do you reckon?
Well, I definitely think that she loved that he loved her, and he was very affectionate,
Yeah.
and and he's very passionate, and he never let anyone, the things that people said about people, get in the road of him achieving his dreams.
Yeah, so I mean, he was a courageous guy. I came up with 6 C's that I think make for a great man. And I guess when I think about, again, Shutran, for me, Shutran's, I go on about it and it's a bit of a joke. But
some people
it
may
isn't-
not even
it's-
know what Shutran is. So
Yeah,
why are we
okay,
talking about
yeah.
men and Shutran?
Okay, alrighty, so let's talk about Shutran first of all. So Shutran was a blend. Well, it's actually a synergy, isn't it, technically, that Gary put together. It doesn't have any carrier oil in it. It's just pure essential oils. So Gary put that together. It has Idaho blue spruce, ocotea, hinoki, ylang ylang, coriander, davana, cedarwood lemon, and lavender. That's the combination of essential oils in it that Gary put together. And originally he put it together for men to promote feelings of masculinity and confidence, but secretly it was for women, wasn't it?
It was. He basically researched pheromones and what would attract women to men, because
Yeah.
if they were attracted to men and they found men more stimulating, then they might be more interested in their man, or men who wear Shutran. So that was Gary's whole idea, was to get men to wear this so that women would be more attracted to them.
But interestingly, when you look at those oils, like a lot of them are really powerful combinations. And even that word synergy, like I looked it up because there's 2 different options, aren't there? There's a synergy, which is a combination of just essential oils. And then there's a blend, which technically is essential oils with some kind of carrier. Yeah. So Shutran is a synergy, and I like the definition of a synergy. It's an interaction of 2 or more agents, so that their combined effect is greater than the sum of their individual effects. And that's what makes a great synergy, isn't it? In essential oils, combine a whole bunch of oils together, and it produces something that's much more than just the effects of the individual oils. So I wanted to just quickly talk about 3 of the oils in the blend. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, so first one off the first cab off the rank, Idaho blue spruce. Used by the Northwestern Native Americans. It was a sacred tree. It was used in purification rites. So for them, a very powerful oil and a very powerful tree. And just on its own, Idaho blue spruce releases emotional blocks. It's great for that. Promotes a sense of balance.
It's very ground.
It is. It's a grounding oil. It comes from an awesome, amazing tree, harvested right in the dead of winter, isn't it? To get the absolute most out of the essential oil. So that's one.
Can I just tell,
Yeah.
in terms of Idaho blue spruce, Gary and Mary were actually driving around looking for a new farm, and anyway, Gary saw all of these Christmas trees. It was basically a Christmas tree farm, and they were selling them off. Basically, the guy was going to drive a bulldozer through them, and Gary said, "Oh, don't do that. I'm sure that I can find a use for them." And basically the guy said, "Well, if you can come and get rid of them, then you can have them." And so that was when Gary started researching the benefits of Idaho blue spruce, and he worked out that the best time to harvest the oil was in winter, because the trees actually held on to their oil, and basically to keep them warm. I don't know, but that was the highest quality oil was in winter, because basically the plants are doing anything to protect themselves during those colder months, and so that's why they're harvested in the freezing cold.
And the oil is actually steam distilled, but it's from the leaves and the branches and the bark as well. So you're getting pretty much the whole tree there. Yeah. So that's one major constituent. Ocotea, another really interesting.
I can smell ocotea the most, probably in this. It's
got a
the
little
cinnamony type.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, when I smell Shutran, I smell the ocotea.
So that comes from the Amazon wilderness on the west side of the Andes. So a particular part of the Amazon related to cinnamon, and again traditionally used to quell feelings of anxiousness in people. It's high in beta-caryophyllene.
Which you should Google.
Yeah, which you should Google. You also find quite a bit of that in, can we say, CBD oil?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Third ingredient, hinoki. And hinoki is one of the, if you want to have a look on our YouTube channel, find strange and weird oils, I think we called it, hinoki. But again, sacred tree in Japan, used to build a whole bunch of their temples.
It's kind of their equivalent of cypress.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about that, because hinoki is a sacred tree, so to source it, Young Living actually have to source it from sustainably from trees that have already fallen down, or they've been culled, so they can't just knock down a hinoki tree. Yeah. So again, very unique oil.
Similar to Palo Santo.
Yeah. So I mean, even just those. Any of the other oils you want to mention?
Well, you wanted me to talk about Divana because Divana has actually just been released at convention as a single oil.
Yeah.
It's only available in the USA at this moment. However, hopefully it'll come to Australia soon. Divana is great for your skin, certainly for any, the occasional blemish. But what it's mostly for is giving you a positive outlook. So once again, it's in here. You're starting to hear a theme, grounding, helps with feelings of anxiousness, gives you a positive outlook, confidence, all of those kinds of things. But Gary put Divana into Shutran, and it's also in one of my favourite blends, which is actually called Amorescence. It used to come on the end of the lip glosses, and you can get it from Beauty School. And so it's a really nice oil to add to blends. It kind of enhances the perfume, if you like, of some of the blends.
Yeah. Another one which is also in there is ylang ylang. I always wondered why it was called ylang ylang, if it was good enough to say twice. Turns out it means flower of flowers. So that's interesting. Again, traditionally spread on the beds of newlyweds on their wedding night as if they needed any encouragement.
Helps to balance the masculine feminine energy as well. So
absolutely. Enhances spiritual awareness, combats anger, low self-esteem, negative thoughts. So it's a really positive oil. So you combine all those things together, and it is really an amazing synergy of oils.
Yeah.
Also has uses in the bedroom. Can we say anything about that? Not really.
I thought you were keeping this PG.
Oh well, we are, and I won't say any more than that. But it's quite suitable for that. Okay. Anything else you wanted to say?
I guess I just wanted to tell you about the name Shutran. So Gary Young wrote it was kind of like a historical account of, but like he added fictional characters, a historical account of the sort of frankincense trail and that kind of thing. And anyway, so in the book because he wanted people to read it, so he made it like fictional characters, and he named the characters. Shutran was the man, the horse riding hero of the story, and Mira was the girl. So he saw himself as Shutran and Mary as Mira. And so you get the Mira cleansing oil, the Mira hair oil, the Mira shave oil, and then you get the Shutran range for the men. So it's kind of, I guess I just wanted you to know where the name Shutran came from.
And in the Shutran range, we've actually got them just over there. So let's just do a quick run through. We've got the shave oil, or shave cream, which is awesome. That gives a great smooth shave. Aftershave
lotion. The aftershave lotion's actually in one of the Father's Day packs. You get the aftershave lotion, Mr. I've got a mental block. What else and you get
cedarwood?
A razor. I think it was cedarwood. Cedarwood. Because I said the other day that cedarwood was in there for dads to put on their hair. So,
if they're starting to get a bit shiny.
Beard oil.
which you don't actually, that has multi-purposes as well. Even if you don't have a beard, it's just a good oil that you could use.
Yep. And the Shutran bar soap, which is actually 15% off at the moment. Look how big this is, right?
It's a man-sized
It's
bar
a
soap.
man-sized bar soap. And, you know, it's got sort of the similar, yeah.
So it's got charcoal in there as part of it,
Yeah.
activated charcoal. Yeah, it's awesome. Love the Shutran soap. So again, a great selection. If it's Father's Day coming up, awesome gifts for dad or boyfriend or uncle or anyone in your family as a male. Can I just finish off? I would love to see men stepping up. And I did come up with a bunch of C's, the 7 C's I think I came up with. I reckon a great man, capable, competent, courageous, caring, chivalrous, and communicative. So,
Where do I find one of them?
Well, I'll just put up my hand for that. That's
Sean's on as well, so Sean must be.
Sean?
He thinks he's those.
Yep.
How many 7 C's was it? 7?
Maybe it's just 6.
How many
Let's
6
step
C's?
up. But Shutran, definitely a plus. So I'd recommend it for guys, and women love it as well. So.
And best of all, this month, with any order over 320 PV, you can get this for free. So it makes, you do your shopping, ditch and switch, and get your laundry liquid, try out the new parsley oil, order your Ninja, your Sulfazyme, your Megacal, all of your monthly ones. Get to 320 and you'll get this for free.
It's worth over $100.
And then you'll be able to give it to Dad for Father's Day.
And he'll love you.
Or give it to the kids to give to Dad for Father's Day. And yeah, you'll save on having to buy a Father's Day present.
And one final thing
Not that
about
I've thought about that at all.
No, but also most men's fragrances and stuff are pretty toxic. Whether that's what they spray under their arms or the fragrances they put on as aftershave. They've got all kinds of phthalates and horrible stuff. So this one is not just
all natural.
It's not just all natural. So it's not like it just doesn't harm him, but it'll actually do him good in so many ways. So there you go, Shutran.
On that note, we'll leave you.
I feel like I was very serious tonight.
Very.
I'm very passionate about this stuff.
Yeah. All right. We will see you next week. Bye, guys.
See you guys.